Well, I'm going to show you a bridge that cost $274 million, and it provides about a kilometre of new road space for vehicle drivers, and it also provides a great new link for pedestrians and cyclists. But you got to wonder, how many kilometres of bicycle network infrastructure would we have gotten for $274 million? And if you consider that the East-West Regional Cycleway, which is, about 7 Ks, is costing about $7 million, yeah, we would get a heck of a lot of bike paths for the cost of this one bridge. Now, look, I'm not complaining about the replacement of the clunky old bridge with this new bridge. It's a huge improvement all round. Cycling or walking across that bridge in the past was not a very pleasant experience at all. I would kind of liken it to the Gladesville Bridge, but possibly worse. If anything could be worse than the Gladesville Bridge, yes, some things could be. And the old bridge across the river here was possibly one of them. Not only because of the quality of the path across the bridge, but the terrible approaches on both sides. That's been completely replaced by this new one, which has got really good approaches on both sides in general. In fact, on the southern side, there's two ramps essentially you can get up onto the bridge. So no complaints about what they've built here. What there is a problem with is what this thing connects up to, that they've built this great little bit of infrastructure across the river, and then what does it connect to on either side? And look, there is some good connections, I've got to say that, but I keep coming back to this topic of the missing links. And what I'm going to show you as we get across the other side of this bridge is one of those missing links. And then a little bit, I'm going to do some more videos on this topic, and I'm going to show you more missing links that are within about a kilometre of where I'm riding at the moment. So just be prepared for that over the next couple of weeks and we'll see, because I'm just gobsmacked that all this money gets put into building this really fabulous piece of infrastructure. I mean, it is really nice. And then we fail to join it up properly to everything else. To me, it just seems to be very silly.
Now, one reason why I didn't do that part one-handed is they've done such a poor job with concreting with seams between the concrete slabs that I thought it was quite risky to come down that hill one-handed at speed, so I didn't. It's just like, oh God, what's that section in Canada Bay where they built the new path where it's terrible? Yeah, there's video on it. I can't remember the street now. Should remember it, I lived on that street. Burn Avenue, that's right. It's not quite as bad as Burn Avenue, but it's not good. And that is less than 6 months old. Now, this section here is probably 30 years old, I guess. And I prefer not to ride along here on this path most of the time because, one, it crosses a hell of a lot of driveways, and I've had issues with drivers coming in and out of driveways without slowing down or stopping or looking. So I usually prefer to ride on the road, which is very quiet, although it's a terrible road surface. But the other reason is what's coming up ahead on this bend. And that is because they couldn't be bothered widening the path around this bend and taking away a bit of road space. So they decided the next best thing is end the bike path, get people to hop off and walk around this kind of 20 or 30 metre section and then hop back on their bikes. In fact, it's probably not even 30 metres. Yeah, that's their idea of a sensible design consideration. So I don't get it. There's a nice path on one end of it, a nice path on the other end, and then this goes for quite some distance. Yet they couldn't fix that bit in the middle, and even though it's probably been like that for 2 or 3 decades, they still haven't gotten around to fixing it, which is just kind of bizarre. And I think anyone that's cycled for a while understands that's just typical everywhere. Lots and lots of councils suffer from that, where they build a bit of infrastructure and think, yep, we built that bit, that's all we need to do. We can pack up our bags and go home now and not worry about all the little missing links, which actually make it less pleasant or less safe or less convenient to use. And if they actually filled in all the little missing links, which might only make up, well in this case, probably 1% of the length of this particular path, the whole path would be so much better. I don't know how we get that message across to councillors that that's what they need to do, but if anyone can think of a way of doing it, let's do it.